you're looking for a partner and you just meet a guy, you don't put him through any test of metal like the Navy SEALs do. They go through a training, goes, this guy's not qualified, doesn't work with others, he's got too big of an ego, he thinks of himself. He hasn't been tested in an environment that may require some skills or some the right aptitude to be able to make it through. How did you guys do that and know that you guys can be successful together?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when we met, we kind of shared a lot of the same worldviews, values, kind of how we saw family and, what we wanted kind of from a lifestyle standpoint. So I think that was a bit of a beginning point.
Yeah.
And then, we just always talked about these things, and I was learning things, kind of struggling and figuring things out on my own on the entrepreneurial side, which I think, kind of helped Marty with some ideas that he could apply in his jobs as he was gaining more responsibility in corporate. But I was just like winging it. And so he would bring all this great operational excellence and like kind of leadership stuff around people and teams and all those kinds of things that I was able to apply in my businesses as they started to grow, because he was doing this. And so those were things that we kind of said, man, we really have a lot of complementary skill sets. And then when he went out on his own and started his software company, and I had a marketing, advertising, design shop, we just collaborated on a bunch of projects. And, our families have spent a lot of time together. We've vacationed together. We've just, it's been kind of a friendship and business partnership from, for 10 years or so before we started hatching the idea of capital.
Yeah. So
I feel like there's a bit of, John, I think there's also like this kind of ham and egg, or, like complementing each other aspect too. Like David and I are pretty self-aware of our shortcomings or our kind of weak spots and our things that we're not naturally talented or aren't passionate about being great at. And those things are somewhat opposite from like gifts and talents and skills and that kind of the kind of work that we like doing. And so it's a really good fit. We fill the gaps, so to speak, on, where needed. But then at the base of all of it, it's what David said to answer your question is we're really equally yoked on the important foundational stuff about, what we're trying to accomplish, the role of business in our life, the role of what we're trying to accomplish long-term. If anything, we talk a lot about Calm Capital being almost like a family office more than any other structure, is hopefully how we see it long term. But yeah, anyway, we know what we're good at and what we're not, and we really appreciate each other. I think doesn't mean we don't, I'm sure, ruffle each other's feathers. Probably me doing the ruffling more often than not, but we get over it pretty quickly because we know where we both want to head with our future.
I think what I'm seeing already, I was just like 10 minutes into this, you guys are humble, which means you're coachable because you could to each other, even to somebody that's your peer.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we I think we've answered the question other times where we say together we're a whole person, a whole businessman. But we really that's part of what we're having fun with, I think, too, is to realize that we know what we want to build and we're persistent and patient in building it. But we also know that neither one of us have a finance background or decades and decades of big business successes, but we're willing to give it a go, and we're willing to learn from everybody we can.
Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you're a subscriber by clicking on this button right here down below. And if you want to watch more serial acquirer interviews, click on this button right here. If you're ready to buy your first business, get my course at dealflowsystem.net right here. Take care. Cheers, John.